Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited because this bike right here is the second bike for our two-speaker giveaway. If you're not familiar with that, we ran a giveaway a little bit ago. 2 lucky customers from the Indian and the Harley motorcycle community, completely two-speaker install free by us giveaway, and this is the second one. Customer and his buddy rode down all the way down from Minnesota to get it done. Took 3 days to get to us, so let's get into it. I wanted to dive into this, and I'm so excited, is because yes, Davidson Audio, when we say we're going to do a free giveaway, we do it and we mean it. So this is the customer again. He rode all the way down from Minnesota to get his bike done by us because he won our two-speaker giveaway. He is good friends with Mr. Need. If you're not familiar with him, he's the one that we did the Roadmaster for. It was red, had the really cool Woody's grips on it. We did his bike up in Minnesota Ride Culture. We met this gentleman up there and he just happened to win our giveaway. So we're super stoked to take care of this for him. So enough of me, because the star of this video is that Harley right there. Like I said, let's talk about the star of the show right here. This 2019 Harley-Davidson Limited. And in my opinion, what makes it a limited is the lowers and the tour pack. It's Harley's touring version. In the Indian community, it's a Challenger, and then you turn it into this is a Pursuit. Indian doesn't have as many acronyms and names for all their bikes, so apologies if I butchered that for y'all. But what we're doing on this bike, 100% free to the customer, minus he purchased the 6.5-inch speakers for the tour pack. What we're doing here is we're going to flash this because he has the GTS radio right there. We love that OEM radio, so we usually advise customers to stick with it. We're going to flash it for clean audio and to give him CarPlay, Android Auto. We're going to put the Cicada Audio FLX 1400.4P amplifier up here. That is a beastly amplifier with the DSP built into it. And then to get the signal from the OEM radio to it, we're going to use the NVS Audio T harness. In the fairing, we're going to do the Cicada Audio components, so a CM65.4X carbon fiber mid-bass speaker there. Cicada Audio grills with the tweeter separate, and then in the tour pack we're going to put the so tried and true and amazing CXX65.4 in there, the coaxial pros by Cicada Audio, carbon fiber, as waterproof as possible to give this customer the best overall sound. I think Harley did a phenomenal job with these tour packs. As you can see, the speakers, unlike Indians, aren't facing forward, they're angled up at the rider, so you actually really hear these speakers. This is gonna be a phenomenal setup, so let's get it in there, get it torn apart, show you that. They're gonna get everything installed and get this customer back on the road so they can enjoy a longer trip back and not be as pressured to get home. We have this Harley Road Glide Limited all torn apart, and a good amount of the stuff already ran. As you can see, we have the power ground and the speaker wire for the saddlebag lids already there. The speaker pods are sitting over there. We got our bags over here. So I always like to be as transparent as possible. So we've got the power and ground from the NVS Audio AK2 kit, 4-gauge oxygen-free copper. We have 14-gauge oxygen-free copper speaker wire. The reason we're running this is in case he ever does saddlebag lids, we want the power and everything there. And I'll show you where that's terminated, so that way he can easily do that later if he wants to. So we've got our harnesses zip tied up right here, power ground and speaker wire, all nice and flat through here. Tucked it down, speaker wire for that bag goes along here and out and is zip tied in. We have our fuse holder right here, like I said, NVS Audio. We did a separate 1-aught ground from there to the battery, and then we have our amplifier ground to that, so that way this is very serviceable and easy for shops and whatnot. And then, like I said, our speaker wire is terminated down here, heat shrunk closed, zip tied, zip tied, zip tied, so that way it won't get in the way of the swing arm or anything. The NVS Audio T harness utilizes the factory wiring for the tour packs. We're going to get these taken out and swapped out for the CXX65.4s. And then here on the bench, we have our speaker enclosures for the bike. So here you got our CM65.4X with a XT connector, because what we like to do is we solder everything in the enclosure. Very small hole here so we can bring the wire out, because we're going to solder on our XT wire connectors with our wire here with a Cicada Audio grill. Very beautiful grill with that RR075T tweeter. So we solder our wires to it, utilize this little notch piece to hold the wire, and then we'll have this quick disconnect. So if anybody needs to take the fairing off, you pop this off. It's one connection, you're done. So these are all loaded up. We're going to be getting that done. And then over here, we have the Cicada Audio FLX 1400.4P on the Cicada Audio amp rack. They made it so darn easy. Thank you, Cicada, for that. They even told you, signal, mount that side, power input this side. This will just go up and slide in. It will wedge itself up there, bolt in one per side. This is a multi-use amp rack, as you can see. Multiple grooves. You see we bolted it there and there. And we utilize the factory bolts there. NVS Audio T harness to get it in there properly. So we're well on the way, but I just wanted to get a part of this for y'all to show. Right here again, heat shrunk so it doesn't get anything. Zip tied all the way up, nice and neat. We're gonna keep on working on this, get it all buttoned up, and we'll get back with you when the amplifier is in and show you that. All right, y'all, this time I got smart. I got sunglasses because guess what? It's bright sun shining in the state of Florida today. It's nice and warm, sun shining. So what a perfect day for delivery day. So this 2019 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Limited is all buttoned up. This is the second winner of the 2-speaker giveaway. So as we've already shown you through the process, we installed some awesome Cicada Audio products. All started with the NVS Audio T harness to feed us our signal to our Cicada Audio FLX 1400.4P. That's their 1400.4 amplifier with the built-in DSP to power the Cicada Audio CM65.4 X's in the fairing and the RR075Ts in the Cicada grills with the components up front. In the rear, we have the Cicada Audio CXX65.4 for them. We routed out some 1/4-inch spacers to make sure they fit and they look perfect. Bike looks amazing, sounds amazing. Well, the bike kind of looks stock, slight modification. Sounds absolutely amazing. Let's show you the bike. Let's listen to it because the customer's gonna be on his way. We're gonna do some fine tuning and tweaking of it and then get him and his buddy over there back on the road to take a nice, relaxing way back to Minnesota. We know here at Davidson, you all want to see the star of the show, which is this Harley-Davidson, again, 2019 Road Glide Limited. Come on, y'all, we're learning here. You know, Lowers Tour Pack makes it a limited. This would be a Pursuit, Indian equivalent. But anyways, all the equipment's up here, and I want to just give a huge shout out to Cicada Audio, not only on their products, but not the amplifier and speakers, but the awesome Road Glide mount that they made in there. Slid right up in there, held it perfectly, gave us plenty of room to get that amplifier in there. That's giving us the power for Cicada Audio grills, tweeter, mid in there for a nice component setup, and then back here we have the CXX 6.5-inch coaxes, and then like I said, we routed out a 1/4-inch spacer to make sure that fit over there, covered up. The OEM has a much larger grill, so we wanted to make sure we covered up everything that it covered up, so that will last the test of time for this customer. We also have, you can't see it, and if you look hard enough, all the way back there, we have a DT connector 2-pin, giving him the wiring harness, so if he ever does a lead cutting kit, he can do it real quick. But everything's all done. Let's see how it sounds, y'all. I think it sounds absolutely amazing. Let's let you and the customer be the judge of that.
Put our faith in the one, make the rain come through. I was broken gracefully until he elevated me. Took the wheel from A to Z. He doing things I can't believe. Don't put me on, don't hate on me. Jesus Christ said wait on me. I waited patiently, but he was never late on me. Down back.
Would the Lord forgive me if I killed a beat? Would it be a sin if I had did it for the Trinity? Jesus said that we should have affection for our enemies. Then he flipped the table, think I'm picking up the recipe. I just drop hot coals on a hater hat. Kindness, and I'll be spineless. Tryna shine a light in Nashville, where you find us. Headed in the middle of the city like a Rhine. Rare life, looking like gold, real Leviathan. Hope to die fish, didn't eat Poseidon. I I first met her, back at it. Feeling like Daniel Cormier in a lion's den. Had the dog out Simba, but the backwoods like they called out Timber. Had a hater tell me that the tribe not the best, man, that's feeling like a stretch, and you not that limbo. Everything I love, that's a reach.
Idiot, tried to save lives, but kill rappers, y'all some hypocrites. That's my bad, when I'm with the gang, I get belligerent. I'd rather chain them all up on my taxes, let's get into it. Sometimes I be wildin'.
We got this bike all wrapped up. I want to mention real quick, we unlocked Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for this customer, so that way he can enjoy his screen while he's on the road. Let's see what the customer thinks of this build. Our customer here, this is the gentleman that won the 2-speaker giveaway from Davidson Audio for the Harleys. This is, again, the Road Glide Limited. Want to make sure he got all set up, so we did the complete fairing, added the tour pack speakers, got him set up if he ever adds lids, because as we know, that's something customers commonly add to their bikes. I love the lids. The lid cutting kit looks phenomenal, but he is now set up for that. So we're just going to see what his opinions are on the system and dealing with us and winning. And then hopefully we're going to talk to him when he gets home and see what his thoughts are after that long ride.
Absolutely. Brandon did a fantastic job setting this bike up. It sounds amazing. I can't wait for the ride home. It'll be way better than the ride down here, and looking forward to it. Sounds phenomenal. Fantastic install. Nice, clean. Excellent work, Brandon. Love it. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate it very much. Good sir. He entrusted us with the bike that came down. We got it done way quicker than expected, but as I tell all my customers, plan for a couple of days. We do our best to get it done sooner. I'd rather you expect to cut your trip shorter versus try to extend it. That's a nightmare. So if you're looking for the best aftermarket audio solution for your Harley here, we've got Indians over here. As you know, we're not afraid of a challenge. We'll take on any difficult job. That's where we started the business, and that's what we thrive off of. So y'all have a great day. God bless all of you, and until the next one.